What's going on, Capricorn? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a wonderful month so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Cap, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So Capricorn, guess what time it is? It's the planetary energy spread. Can you tell I'm pumped? And with the planetary energy spread, that's just every time the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where all the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Capricorn. Now, Cap, with this spread, I got some oracle cards laid out here, and this is for each of the signs that the planets that are in. These two here, Aries and Scorpio, are going to be for the eclipse energy. And what I'm going to do is pull an oracle card for each of them, and then we'll get some more details with the tarot. But before we jump into things, just so you all know, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then these decks that I'm working with, I've included links down for them in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Cap. But let's start talking about... Oh, hold up. Let's start talking about the party that Taurus is throwing, because the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter's going to be entering there a little bit later this month, or later next month in May. And then we got Uranus, who's been having just the wildest party for the last few years. But with the Sun being in Taurus, the Sun entered Taurus on the 20th of April and will be in there through the 20th of May. And with this energy really invites us to kind of slow down, stabilize, and really be in the present moment and enjoy, because Taurus is they're very much attuned to like the senses, as far as, you know, like our five senses. And in order to really get in touch with that, you know, it takes a moment of just like really just indulging in the present moment and just like really taking in everything. You know, when you're going for a walk, listen to the melodies of the birds and, you know, whatever smells that happen to be around. And that's something too to be mindful of, because they can be a sign of the senses. This is something, you know, being aware of any sort of like maybe strong smells around us, you know, what foods that we're eating, you know, maybe what we're light exposure, things along those lines, you know, are we around any sort of like dissonant noises, all types of stuff, Capricorn. But also, this is a great energy to get back, you know, get in touch with nature. And I feel like just for earth signs in general, just making that a habit, you know, whether that's just getting outside in general, excuse me, but more so even just like, you know, maybe going for a hike, or, you know, going by some water, or maybe even just working with earth, you know, doing as far as like maybe some gardening or anything along those lines. But I feel like that would really, really benefit you all in the long term. But also something to keep in mind of, you know, because Taurus is the fixed sign of the earth elements, you know, there could be a tendency for some stubbornness. So it's just something to keep eyes on, Cap. Now, Mercury. Mercury entered Taurus on the 3rd of April and will be there through the 11th of June. Why so long? Because it's retrograde time. And I think this is going to be a good reflective time for all the earth signs, Cap, because Mercury is going to be retrograding in all of the earth signs this year. And I think when retrogrades in your sign, it'll retrograde back into Sagittarius for a little bit. But I bring that up to say just because retrogrades in general are a time for reflection, but Mercury retrograde more so in particular, because Mercury rules over like our communication, you know, like short-term travel, early education, you know, things along those nature. You know, you may notice like your communication, you know, how we're talking, maybe messages might get a little scrambled, or, you know, texts get sent weird, or emails get lost in spam, or just randomness like that. So just kind of keep an eye on that, Cap, especially have stuff that we're expecting. Check like your mail as well, just like your regular mail if we're looking for things. Keep that kind of stuff in mind. Stay up on that. And then also, technology might be a little wonky, so what I've been kind of telling people is, we'll talk about that in a second, but like technology might be a little wonky as well, because someone was just telling me that they went to log into one of their apps and it was like logged into a completely different account, like something really weird like that. And I've been getting like weirdness, and it'll just be like, it won't be like crazy stuff like, your computer crashing or anything, but it'll just be, keep an eye on it. But just like weird things like that, Cap. So just something to keep an eye on. But more specifically, with Mercury retrograding in Taurus, because Taurus rules over like our senses, finances, security, this might affect your areas in like your judgment and your interactions in those elements as well, so it's not like we can't make any sort of like plans or anything. Mercury in Taurus is a really strong placement, but this is just a time to be extra mindful, especially if we're worried about like security in any kind of aspect, especially when it comes to like financial stuff. I've been telling people, if we make any kind of like online purchases, I say, create a folder in your email and just throw the receipts in there just to have them on hand. Not that I feel like anything's going to happen, but, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And same thing with any sort of like big purchases, just maybe keeping that stuff in like a folder in one spot so it's just easily accessible on the off chance some weirdness happens. But once did I tell you how long it's going to be going retrograde? Because if I didn't, the retrograde time is going to be from April 21st through the 14th of May. And yeah, so they're usually about roughly 3 weeks. But once Mercury goes direct, this is going to be a time where the energy will get steady again. And because when just Mercury and Taurus in general is a really it's a steady, persistent, and just like, really realistic, pragmatic type of mind, And when we set our sights on, especially for like learning, and self-improvement and things along those lines, you're going to be, the perseverance is going to be there, the diligence is going to be there. Taurus, when they set their sights on something, they're going to work towards it, and they're going to put in the work for that. They invest long term, making things work, for getting a few things working for them. So this is a great time to really be thinking about this stuff, even during the retrograde time. Really don't let retrogrades get you where you don't make a move. This is a time to reflect and see where we're feeling lack of security, and then start setting up a game plan, which is going to be perfect because then Jupiter is going to be moving into Taurus a couple of days later after Mercury goes direct, and he'll move there on the 16th of May, and then we'll be there. Jupiter stays in a sign for about 12 to 13 months. So Jupiter will be in there until May 25th of 2024. But with this, Jupiter is a planet of higher learning, expansion, abundance, spirituality. And when it comes to, thinking about these investments, when we're talking about Taurus energy, this is a great time. Start thinking about ways you want to either invest in finances, in your health routines, maybe this could be both physical, mental health, maybe in your spirituality, whatever areas you want to invest in, Capricorn. Maybe you want to start new hobbies and things. Let's think about getting some seeds planted right now. This is great. Just like Jupiter and Taurus, to me, almost feels just like this is a time to just like plant a garden. What do you want to manifest right now? What do you want to nurture and grow, and what are you trying to see? And this is like anything, Capricorn. This is just, you're working with fertile ground. So really get some things cooking up, because this is like taking all that abundance from Jupiter, and it's just like, yeah, how do we milk this for the duration of this journey? Get a couple streams going, Cap, and that's going to pay off too. Because the last little troublemaker, Uranus, has been in Taurus since Uranus stays in the sign for about 70-ish years, and Uranus will be in Taurus till the end of 2025, or not the end, excuse me, till about July 7th of 2025. And, with Uranus and Taurus, Uranus is a planet of revolutions. He comes in and changes, he gets rid of outdated models to welcome in this newness, so that clears the ground so that we have stuff to plant on, so that we keep the things that are working really well, but how do we improve off of that? And, you've seen how we've gone from working at home more, to all this bank stuff. And I mean, things are just getting heated up now that Pluto, when these outer planets make moves, you know, this is big stuff that goes down. And now that Pluto's, you know, starting to do his dance, you know, this is like, I feel like if anything, these two are like kind of walking hand in hand, like let's change this and change for you and change for you and change for you. Yeah, they're doing a lot, but that gives us an opportunity to do a whole lot too, Cap. So let's see what we got here. Oh, interesting. Capricorn. I talk about all this abundance and you don't even care. I'm kidding. You got the fourth card of Scorpios here, which is the Cat card. And with the Cat card, this is a card of apathetic, disinterested, aloof, my way or the highway, bored, unflappable, cool cat, unaffected, not my problem, what I want, when I want it, cool and calm and disengaged. In Capricorn, I will say, when we get in energies like this is kind of gives me like sort of like Four of Cups vibes, in the sense, like I'm just thinking with like the disinterested, the aloof, you know, if we're not, because I get with where kind of, you know, with things get kind of crazy, we can get to this place maybe where it's just like, you know, what's the point? You know, everything sort of like sucks and, you know, like, blah, you know, it's on fire. So, you know, when we get into that place of like, what's the point? We want to be kind of careful in that realm there, Cap, because that's going to, it affects, because how we were just talking about all this abundance. And then if we come with that kind of attitude, you see how that really kind of deflates the energy a little bit. And listen, I'm a glass, like a overflowing type of guy. So listen, I'm gonna bring, if we're feeling disinterested, well, challenge accepted, because I'm bringing optimism, because this is an exciting time. It's, you know, especially I feel like going for these next, really, once Pluto gets settled into Aquarius, I feel like things are really going to start to expand. But even up until that point, you know, just the seeds that we can get sowing now for the future abundance is going to be insane. But we got to find, if we haven't been feeling maybe motivated or interested in anything as of late, you know, just sort of numb to stuff, you know, we got to check in with that, Capricorn. You know, do some, this is a great time, like I was talking about during this retrograde periods. Let's do some reflection, do some meditating, and find out, you know, what's going in balance, what would get you excited about life again, and then start doing more of those things, you know, incorporating more time for little stuff like that, because we absolutely, if we have moments to you know, to just like kind of hustle and work and things along those lines, we have time to do some fun stuff for ourselves too, especially if we've been feeling down, you know. But let's get some, oh, one more thing, just with everything going down, you know, and then listen, it's only going to, and this is not to get you scared, this is to get you pumped. There's going to be a lot of changes that are going down, because like I was saying, you know, these outer planets, when they move, this is going to affect on just not just a personal level, but a global level. So we want to stay cool and calm in this, because it's not just all just chaos that's happening. In the same time, there's wonderfulness that's brewing up too. And this is a time for that we can create more space for that, because, you know, think of this is going to be just like tower moments, global tower moments. But when Mars clears space, I was just talking about their relationship, Venus and Mars. Venus, the Empress, comes through and plants a garden, Taurus energy all day. But let's get some tarot on this. Alrighty. Got a whole, look at all this abundance, Capricorn. I'm with it. Let's see what we got here. Oh, let's see if I can pick them up. Hey, you are, Cap. Hey, what's good? Yeah, I'm with this, Capricorn. Absolutely. Because, okay. So, let me tell you what's going down here. So, the reversal storm here, you got the Queen of Pentacles, you, the Lovers, and the Three of Wands in reverse. But the nice thing, we got the Two of Cups, and this is all nice. Two of Cups and the Page of Pentacles upright. And so Capricorn, this is kind of where, yeah, let's start here. With this Page of Pentacles, The Page of Pentacles, because look at you in the background there. right over here, Capricorn, that nice little goat there with all these dreams. The Page of Pentacles is about seeing, you see how excited that she is about this pentacle that she's holding? Because this is a great time to ask yourself, really, Capricorn, what would raise your vibration through the roof? And this is not just even saying for like a, if we're not happy with, like, for example, with like a job, let's say, then let's think about some ways we can switch that up. But this is just, even if we want to incorporate more time for just maybe just some fun, or more time for just like some self-care, or whatever this looks like. Maybe we want to make time for travel, but working in things along those lines, and making that part of your routine. Start incorporating more stuff along those lines on your journey, because that really, really does nourish the soul, and really does bring this oneness within you, and really get you to this place where, because the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, this almost feels like this cat card here, where we're not feeling like, where we feel like the abundance isn't around. We feel like we're like, maybe life is against us, that things are just kind of holding us back, that, there's like, where do we go from here? It's just sort of like there's we're just not seeing the opportunities. And I feel that Capricorn, if we just been feeling kind of down with the Lovers card, this is a couple things. One, this is your higher self. When it pops up in reverse, this is higher self trying to get your attention. Just like, hey, when was the last time that we've gotten in touch with ourselves, really sat with our thoughts and figured out if something's been feeling out of balance, how can we get that? How can we get you manifesting again, Queen of Pentacles? How can we get you healing? Because, Queen of Pentacles, when there's something that's off, that's really, and it's affecting her abundance and her pentacles, and when you think of pentacles, Capricorn, it's not just your finances. Finances, it's your health, it's your manifestation, it's your material resources, all of that. So if there's something that's throwing off balance, bet she's going to do the soul searching, and she's going to find out how she can grow from this, and then bet she's going to put in the work. Because Queen of Pentacles don't mess around with that, especially if it's going to affect her abundance down the line. Because if she's not feeling at her best, how can she help others heal? Because the Queen of Pentacles, your energy is very healing energy. She's just natural manifestors, like it's incredible when you think about her energy and your energy, Capricorn. So if we've been feeling this disengaged, or this, not disengaged, but, oh yes, I guess disengaged. I was like, where did that word come from? If we've been feeling a little disengaged, maybe from like ourselves, even just like making that connection. If there's just some healing that you feel like needs to get done, or something's really off, don't give up on thinking that we can't get out of this funk. If you've been feeling kind of stuck with things, if something's been holding you down, whether it's a health thing, whether it's a finance thing, whether it's maybe we're blocked for creativity, maybe we're not sure, what the next step looks like, what do we want to aspire, what do we want to focus on. And you know what? The nice thing about this energy too, excuse me, just thinking with the Lovers, this is Gemini energy, and Gemini is all about communication. That's one of the aspects that they cover. So if we, I feel like I tell you this, quite a bit, Capricorn. If we're feeling just out of balance, talk with someone. Find someone that we're close with, that we feel good, that we feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable with, to be Two of Cups. Because Two of Cups, this is Venus in Cancer, and that's very nurturing energy. That's something that we really are working on, healing the soul. And really, this is Two of Cups in the Lovers. This is a whole that's a real rich type of combination there. That's an unconditional love with self. That's like the recipe for Ace of Cups right there. So really take this next, honestly, probably up through through life, Capricorn, but especially through the rest of the year. Start thinking about some ways that we can, if we've just not been feeling quite like Queen of Pentacles or King of Pentacles, how can we get to that state of abundance and feeling great again? Now, Hold on, let me get some tea, because then talking about all that love, there might be a little love in the mix here, Cap. Now, if there is a love thing, just thinking, because Two of Cups lovers, I do feel that, this is something where, Capricorn, if you're not, if we're wondering if this is a soulmate, maybe, because maybe that's what this is. As I was going to say, like, Capricorn, if you're disinterested, then I think the answer's right there. But maybe you're more complex than that. I feel like if this is something that we're wondering if this is like a soulmate vibe, if we're not sure, maybe we've been feeling this detachment as of late, maybe, if we've been sensing that something has been kind of weird, I feel like, don't stay in that energy, of uncertainty. Just like, hey, let me know if I'm just in my head, but I've been feeling like, X, create a judgment-free zone. And it's just like, let's just speak candidly for a minute, and we don't gotta, we can come across this softly, just like that, like, hey, this is just a feeling, I just want to verify. We can stay cool, calm, and collected. So, anymore? I'm with a Capricorn. Cool start. I like that. Now, speaking of you becoming a Queen of Pentacles, let's talk about this Aries, this hybrid solar eclipse energy, because that's a perfect energy for thinking about this stuff. Because on the 20th of April was when the solar eclipse happened, and the eclipse energy is going to last up until the next set of eclipses. This is just like we're the cycle after cycle. You know how it works, Cap. But with eclipse energy, they bring about endings and, brand new beginnings. Because, when one door closes, whole bunch of opportunities are on the horizon there, Capricorn. And with this particular eclipse, this was a really special one, because this hybrid eclipse is like it appears as a total solar eclipse and an annular eclipse, which only happens about once a decade or so. And we're going to get a little astrology lesson here, because there are 30 degrees in a zodiac sign, from 0 to 29. And where this eclipse happened was on the 29th degree, or the anaretic degree, which represents the end of a karmic cycle. And so imagine like the emperor at his highest vibration. And that's what this energy is asking you, Capricorn. What does Queen of Pentacles look like at her highest vibration? How do we make that connection to source and really embody the strongest, your authentic self, and really come into your destiny? This is we got some decisions to make here, Capricorn. So we got to get some things to start thinking about. Which way do we want to start going? And this is not something, don't feel pressure to get this figured out like right this second. I get where we want to improve like all over the place. But let's just start with one. Just start there. Don't. And if that's getting easy, tack on a couple, Capricorn. But just don't spread yourself too thin to where we get to a place of defeat. You know what I mean? So let's get an oracle card on this. And this is a very intuitive time, Capricorn, this energy being in Taurus right now. So work with that. Really trust your senses. Absolutely. I love that. Because Capricorn, you got the 7th card of Cancers here, which is the fairy tale card. And this is a card of believe the impossible, because we're about to manifest it. Daydreams, romantic ending, universal archetypes, hopeful, magic, unicorns and rainbows, aspire, happily ever after, fanciful, and stories we tell. In Capricorn, this thing about universal archetype, Capricorn is going to be the archetype for at least after June for the rest of the year. So when Pluto retrogrades back. So take that as, just even thinking about that, take that as an indicator for how do you want to transform, because Pluto really is a planet of transformation, of reforming and coming into your highest vibration. And believe that you can do that, Capricorn. Any sort of dreams that you have, any sort of things, don't think that they're too fanciful. They're only too fanciful if they stay in your head. But when we start putting some stuff down, start getting a game plan, then this stuff starts materializing. Then we start making unicorns popping up here. What is this, a unicorn? Yeah, it is. It sure it is, Capricorn, because that's what you do. You manifest unicorns. But we got to believe in that. And listen, I know that may be a bit of an exaggeration, but don't sell yourself short either. If we have some ideas that we've been cooking up, you know what I've been saying, the crazy idea is the one that's not implemented right now. So come on, Page of Pentacles, let's level up to a Queen of Pentacles. Let's get into our energy and really start manifesting this stuff, because earth signs, how you do it, it's don't sleep on that. So let's get some, and be aware too, just one more thing, just with the stories we tell. That's been a theme that I've been noticing, not that you really got anything, well, if you're not feeling like a Queen of Pentacles, that's something we want to be mindful of too, because our thoughts are powerful. What we tell ourselves is very important. And if you get caught in this narrative of lack of abundance, not seeing opportunities, things along those lines, that's gonna keep you in detriment, Capricorn. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, stay hopeful, Capricorn. And I know sometimes that can be easier said than done. And I'm not just saying, just like fake. Well, actually, I am saying fake till you make it, because that's how you get it into practice. Like just talk about affirmations, for example. The more you make that a routine, then it becomes something that you believe, All right, she's not staying, but the Empress is here. She's looking at you. Prelude. This is a prelude to the Empress. I love it, and we're celebrating. I like that, because Capricorn, you got the Four of Wands here, and this is what I was talking about. Believe that whatever it is that you want to set out to do, believe that you can accomplish this thing, that you can imagine yourself already doing this thing, and then picture what steps did you take? What avenues did we work with? Did we connect with, because maybe with this energy too, this thing with this Gemini 2 of Cups, maybe this is something where we connect with some people, do some networking. The Three of Wands can be a card of, maybe traveling, maybe talking with someone. And, just even thinking about that. When just thinking with the Three of Wands, if we've been feeling kind of stuck, sometimes changing up your environment, whether that's if you can go on a trip, or even just getting out of your space there, Capricorn, and doing something that just getting out of that energy sometimes can really help you formulate what this finish line looks like. And really, as you're going through this growth, Capricorn, celebrate these victories along the way, and take stock, maybe, just every so often, and just to really realize how you've grown, even up until this point, even if we're feeling stuck, you've gotten this far, and look at how you've overcome stuff in the past. This is just a new obstacle. This is just a new challenge for you to level up, to become a higher vibrational Queen of Pentacles. That's all these obstacles do. They don't, if we come across anything, they're not meant to keep you down. They're meant to, to raise you up and get you excited. So, don't let this, this energy get you disinterested, or the idea that, maybe we feel like our daydreams are fanciful, and that we're just not, become disengaged, or not, whatever, kind of give up on the dreams. Never give up on the dreams. We've got to just figure out how to manifest them. Right? Let's see what else we got, Cap. Interesting. All right, so you got the Four of Pentacles, and then you got the Six of Swords in reverse. And Capricorn, if we have anything, I got a couple things with this. If we have anything that is holding us, that we have, or that if, let's try that again. If we have anything that is holding us back, I feel like from going on to new opportunities, whether this be a mindset or a certain situation. Maybe we're feeling tied down in work, maybe we're feeling tied down in a relationship, but and I mean in a way it's hindering our growth. If we're in something like that, Capricorn, Six of Swords in reverse is inviting us to figure out how do we move on to this next chapter here, because clearly there's something that's not resonating with us, that's not in harmony. That just thinking with this Lover, Two of Cups, maybe there's something we're telling ourselves that we feel okay, but if we do a really deep, honest dive, is that really the case? And if that's something that's resonating with you, Capricorn, really sit with that and ask yourself that. We don't want to ignore this stuff here, because that's how, and it's not the scary, but that's how hanged man situations happen, tower moments, because we're missing the signs. And higher self really, I feel like, likes to keep this stuff like internal affairs, but at some point, if we're higher self is just like, okay, well, we gotta try a little bigger, we gotta affect the outside to get your attention. So just something to think about. But also, I do feel like, just like with this dreams and stuff, if we have anything, because the Four of Pentacles can also be like a card of like savings, like kind of keeping things to ourselves. And I feel like if we've been holding in dreams, Capricorn, anything along those lines, like maybe dreams of maybe pursuing for a different job, or maybe even just like hobbies or something along those lines, maybe we want to paint more, maybe we want to, again, maybe travel, read books, self-care, take more bubble baths, whatever. If we've been wanting to do this kind of stuff, don't hold these urges back, see where there's like, explore, treat yourself, like see where that energy is trying to lead you, because this stuff, these signals that are coming through are trying to come through for a reason. So pay attention to that stuff, especially I feel like with this sun being in Taurus right now. This is a great time for really taking care of ourselves and doing some self-care and really becoming one, and just really listening to the senses and all of that, Capricorn. Fantastic time for it. So just something to think about. Alrighty. Now, let me get some tea and let's talk about this full moon lunar eclipse. So there's going to be a full moon lunar eclipse happening in Scorpio, and it's going to be happening on the 5th of May. And, Scorpio energy, it can be intense. They're known as the intense sign of the Zodiac, but I feel like their energy is only intense when we're resisting change, when we hold on to things that lower our vibration. That's when Scorpio energy gets intense. But when we work with the energy and embrace that change, then it becomes more what I feel like it's intended to be, which is cathartic. Scorpio energy is to help us transform into a more powerful version of ourselves, to bring down those things that we keep repressed and bring that stuff up to the surface, and bring those to our face, and has us face this. So that's something you may notice with this eclipse, is that it might bring up some old unresolved wounds. If we have maybe any sort of like inner child healing, anything along those lines, any sort of repressed feelings, that stuff might bubble up. So just something to be mindful of. But again, this energy isn't doing this to just keep you down. This is to turn that pain, if anything comes up like that, into power, any trauma into triumph. Where this is all about supporting growth. And you're going to notice too, that possibly that your psychic awareness is going to be heightened. Scorpio is very intuitive energy. So this is, pay attention to these signs, Capricorn, and really just during this, I really feel like during this retrograde times for all the earth signs is going to be a really great spiritual time for you to really kind of grow into your energies and really kind of find this oneness with yourself. But let's get, okay, we don't gotta look that hard. I love it, Capricorn. Look, you got your card, third card of Capricorn's here, which is the crack shot. Look at you. And the crack shot is a card that's competent, superior, precise, expert, sharp-tongued, witty, clear-cut, dead-on, intense, target, showdown, effective, impressive, accurate, skilled, excel, arrogant, and first class. And that's what we're trying to embody, not the arrogance, but we're trying to embody that first class. I get it, feel yourself. yourself. If you're bringing it, absolutely be in that energy, be in that confidence. But really, Capricorn, think about, because, I mean, you all are ballers. I mean, you're the boss. I mean, seriously, Queen of Pentacles ain't no joke. And that's something that we really want to work on honing, Capricorn, because you can really, how you accumulate resources and how you really work with the energies, because it's not just like, I'm not just saying just like you just make stuff appear, well, I mean, kind of out of thin air, but it's like, you're no stranger to put in that work, when it's not like, how do I want to put it? It's like when you set your mind to something, it's just like how it's amazing how you put it to work. So this is a great time. Utilize that to your advantage. Figure out all the ways that we can enhance any skills that we've been wanting to work on. Really get that stuff first class. Really become an expert in your craft, and then really start showcasing that stuff. Let that light shine. Come on, Page of Pentacles. Let's start getting some stuff cooking up. But really, that's exactly what eclipse energy is about, to become a crack shot. Let's get some, I'm with that. Let's get some tarot on this. Okay. Let's see what we got here. And, yep. You have the Four of Swords in reverse here, Cap. And so take this time, take a time to rest up. If we've been feeling sort of like stress, or if we just had a lot on our plates, or just really haven't had a moment to just sort of like, again, be with yourself and just kind of gather your mind. Really think about where am I at on this journey? Am I on track here? Is this how I've wanted to showcase my skills? Is this where I saw myself? And then if not, what can we do to make some adjustments? Let's find a new target. Let's sit down and figure that out. But that's the only way we're going to be able to find this balance and find our abundance, because this is Libra, Jupiter in Libra. And I feel like in order, you got to sit down and ask yourself, what's going to bring you in harmony? Start doing that stuff, and I bet you abundance is going to start coming in, and you're going to feel like you're going to feel so, not to say you don't already feel confident, but it's going to even just further this thing. When we really work with our energies, it's not that I'm saying like abundance won't come your way, but it's just like the degree of which it can come. That's where we want to be, where we're getting the most bang for our buck. But well, let's see what else we got. Right. So here's Mercury retrograde. I love it. See, and I'm going to double down on that, because this is Mercury's card, the Magician. This is a time, Capricorn, be thinking about how you want to showcase your skills. What areas do you want to strengthen in, refine, and then do those things. Work on those things and just make that a habit going forward, because you got all the tools. This is a thing, and I was talking with someone about this as far as like tarot. Tarot's really not there to provide you answers, because the answers are all within, Capricorn. Tarot is there to spark questions. It's like, why haven't I been feeling like that I'm getting to my dreams? What's keeping me from moving on? Why don't I feel like I'm resourceful, like I'm a Queen of Pentacles? Where are these opportunities at? Do I need to create some? Do I need to net? It gets the brain thinking, it gets the gears turning, gets the energies flowing. That's what this is about here. And that's how we work with this Magician energy. We ask ourselves these questions, we reflect, we think about this stuff, Mercury energy, and then we communicate this stuff with ourselves, and then we easiest form of manifestation, Capricorn, pen to paper, or whatever we got to write on. You got to write on sticky notes, you got to write back on receipts, wherever inspiration, you got a voice memo. I've been telling people, wherever you get inspired, if you get inspired in the shower, keep a notebook by the shower, something along those lines. But know that you have all the tools you need to manifest your happiness, to manifest your goals. And yeah, so there's that for you. All right, let's all right, love it. Now let's talk about Venus in Gemini. Because with Venus in Gemini, this is Venus entered Gemini on the 11th of April and will be there through the 6th of May. And with this placement, this is a very like lighthearted and cerebral placement for the Empress, because the Empress is Venus. And but it's but Gemini energy is very fun, very intelligent, very witty, very inventive. So this is like Venus in her socialite energy. So this is a great time for connecting with friends or for even thinking about some kind of love thing. This is a great time to really kind of get to know one another. Really just learn how develop like an intimate bond. You really kind of learn how you think and just learn facts about each other, go on just like long dates and things. It's a great energy for that. But also Venus also covers investments, finances, things along those lines. And with Gemini being over intelligence, that's what's Mercury rules over Gemini. And with there being about intelligence, this is a great time if we've been wanting to work on our skills, any kind of crack shot things, refine our abilities. Fantastic time for doing some kind of learning, investing in yourself, watching YouTube videos. You got to spend any money, watching YouTube videos for things, or, just exploring the internet, or maybe going to the library, whatever that looks like. But, invest in yourself, Capricorn. Any ways that you can, these retrograde times, be thinking about this stuff. But let's get an oracle card on this. Okay, I dig it. You got the first card of Aquarius, which is the Fortress card. And the Fortress card is a card of fortitude, staying power, stubborn, sealed off, aloof, prepared, backbone, endure, lasting, ready for anything, determined, unbreakable, true grit, and what it takes. And honestly, Capricorn, that's about your energy in a nutshell. And that makes sense, because with this being Aquarius card, you and Aquarius share a ruler, Saturn. So, but this is what I'm saying, when we get in this place of don't think for a second that you can't manifest your dreams, because you have the staying power, the perseverance, that determination to do what it takes. But we just need to believe in that, and listen, it's because you're ruled by Saturn. There may be times when it feels like this journey it feel like a little harder maybe for you than others, but that's just because Saturn is like the planet of restrictions and limitations, karma, time. But he's not just a hard ass just for no reason, just not just a taskmaster, he's not just cracking the whip on you. There's a whole purpose to this. Saturn is trying to, is helping mold you into something incredible. We're forming, when I think, like Capricorn energy, it's like the seagull, but it's like you guys are like mountains. This is where it's, this is the kind of energy that you're working with. So this is something that we're going to, because your potential is so grand, it's going to feel like there may be some tough hurdles along the way, but Saturn throws this stuff your way because it knows that you can handle it, because it knows what kind of Queen of Pentacles is forming here. And this is something along the way, these adversities that may come your way, Cap, you could turn those into your advantage. We could take this stuff in those times when we were exhausted, when we doubted ourselves, when we weren't sure, you could turn that into like a blog. Maybe you can turn it into a YouTube video, talk about your journey, how you've grown. You could turn it into a book, whatever that's looking like. But you can take this stuff and build something long lasting. Start building a fortress, investing in your legacy right now, which is you, Capricorn, and really start Four of Pentacles. Start thinking about that stuff. let's think about the gifts that you have stored in here, and let's start really getting that stuff refined here. That's brilliant. Let's get some tarot on this. You're brilliant, Capricorn, because this is the energy that you're bringing. So know that. There we go. That's all we just got to do. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh. Wait. No? Okay. I was getting excited. All those? I'm with it. Oh! There's my... Oh! Dang. Oh, I'm even disturbing the cats. Capricorn, let me tell you what just happened. So the Empress is here, one, and she's in reverse. We're going to talk about that. But here you are, and you're in reverse, and that's actually really dope. Because here's what's going to happen. You want to know how we can get in reverse, Capricorn? Because the devil in reverse is realizing that... I really feel like with these obstacles, if we've been feeling like life's been throwing us curveballs, or we've just been feeling just sort of like, not been feeling like that lust for life or that excitement or just like that motivation, then the devil in reverse signifies that, hey, this is going to take work. But in order to do that, we got to get over these ways of, if we've been feeling this stuff here, or, how do we take care of that, just because look at that. Venus came out while we were talking about Venus. So self-care, just like really, that's like one of the strongest things, because when you focus on, really coming into your energy here and oh, wow. There was even a little nugget back here, Capricorn. Do you know what's going down here? Because now, geez, I mean, we got a surprise emperor here. So emperor, empress, okay, where do I start? Where was I at? Self-care. If you want to, you know what? Because here's the thing, Capricorn. I feel like it's time, because that kind of changes a lot. With all this little major assault, it's time for you to assault yourself with self-care, get yourself feeling abundant so that you can feel ready to act, because the energy is right here. You have all this potential that's just sitting right with you, Capricorn. It's just refining this stuff, and yes, it's going to feel like it's going to be a long journey. But the nice thing is there are going to be wins along the way. It's not just going to be all doom and gloom and hardships and lessons and things. There's going to be abundance, but we got to keep rising up. We got to find that balance in life. If we've been feeling down, we got to self-care, and then when we're feeling good again, we got to get right back up. But if we're emperor, empress in reverse and really feeling not in harmony with ourselves, because that's wild, Capricorn. You just let's soak in what's going down here. If we're not been feeling in harmony, because like emperor, empress in reverse, and then lovers in reverse, and this applies too. Just even thinking about that little love thing. If it's not feeling right, and just to apply to the situation, we got to make some adjustments here. We got to start figuring out how we can fix this stuff, start refining these things so that we can start feeling like we're overcoming, that we're actually getting in some growth, that this whole thing can feel like it starts making some sense, Capricorn. Whew, I hope that made sense. That was a lot. More? Yeah, because what do you do with that? I mean, geez. That was a lot, Capricorn. So this is a really, there's a lot of potential here, Capricorn. I don't know if you understand that you came through in a strong way here, and I really feel like that. Love aside, love yourself. Really take some time and love yourself too. Get these energies in balance here, hold on, let me get some tea. It's like you really bringing it. I see you. And this is exciting. Really get excited about this, because wow, look at you, Emperor, Empress, building a fortress. That's this is an amazing story. Mars and Cancer. Let's talk about Mars and Cancer. Let's get back on track here. Mars moved into, towards like the end of March. I'm still kind of processing this. Mars moved in, Mars will be in Cancer until the 19th of May. Let's come on, get together, Justin. And with Mars being in Cancer, this is a great time if we have any sort of passions, these dreams, these anythings, the stuff that we've been talking about. Cancerian energy, when my son's in Cancer, when something resonates with us, then we're going to go out and get it, and I mean get out the way, which coupled with that Mars energy, this is a great time. Granted, Mars energy technically falls in Cancer. It's a little bit weaker, but we can still work with this energy and really get some really great results from it. But it's just really listening to those, because Cancerians, part of how we navigate through this space is our emotions. People, the stigmas that we're emotional, but really we're sensitive to the energies. We're sensitive to like our emotional state. Our emotions are indicators of where to go. So this is energy. Utilize that to your advantage. If something isn't resonating, then that's not the one, because that's how a Cancer operates. If it's not speaking to us, bet we're not going to put into it. Like it's going to take a lot to get this started. But if something really speaks to you, if it gets your Empress excited, it gets your Queen of Pentacles, Devil, like just everything in you wants to pour into this, then let's start getting that stuff. Let's start incorporating some of those things. And again, this could be starting a new career, or implementing a hobby, or whatever it is. Capricorn, dream big, but something to be mindful of before we talk about this, just on the lower vibration. Cancer can be emotional, just when we're unbalanced, and in Mars energy, it can be aggressive. So we just want to be mindful of any sort of being any sort of reactive energies. We want to be proactive, not reactive. But let's get an oracle on this. All right, Capricorn. Let's see what we got. Love it. You got the 8th card of Aries here, which is the shooting star. Oh, okay. Look at you. You're already flying away. We can't even wait. With the shooting star. This is a card of quick action, wish granted, rare, falling, moment in time, luck, dynamic, incandescent, dazzled, sudden, short-lived, passionate, passing through, enterprising, and brilliant. And that's this energy pretty much here. Capricorn is asking that. What do you want? What's your wish? Because we're listening, and that's dope. So, when we. Because even just thinking about this, like how this was saying, just this rare solar eclipse that happened in Aries, Capricorn, I feel like really this can be a time for you to shine your brightest. This gives me very kind of like star vibes, the star card, where it's like, if we have some healing that we need to get done, or if we have some things that, like whatever that's looking like, let's take some time and do that, so that we can discover. Because you're just like, if any of this has been resonating with you, just been in like a funk, you're sitting on potential, Capricorn. So let's just start there, because like don't feel like for a second that you can't come out of this. It's just seeing that, and really, and then putting in that work, working on this stuff, and making you your habit, making you a routine, that self-improvement. And when you do, things are going to just start, your wishes are just going to start coming, it's just like, and when they do, Capricorn, because you're not going to stay stuck in this. When you do, take a moment. When big wins, small wins don't matter. give them that space, give them that time so that we can get used to feeling like that winner all the time, feeling like that Queen of Pentacles. And then and then Capricorn, remember that even when we get back on track with your card, the Devil card is going to still throw curveballs at us. It's just life, but he doesn't do that to bring us down. He does that to keep us moving, to remind you of where you've been working from, especially and remind you what you've grown from. And if we still have some healing that needs to be done from it. The devil is not a bad guy. The devil really does have everyone's best interest at heart. But he's got a weird way of expressing it. But let's get some tarot. Let's see what we got. Love it. You got the Ten of Swords in reverse here. And that's what I'm talking about. Because Ten of Swords in general is an intense card. This is a card of, really kind of feeling at your lowest. Feeling like that, just really kind of feeling like that there's, just kind of going with the motions, just sort of feeling defeated, and just like, maybe, it maybe even, this could be a card of betrayal too. So maybe this is something where I feel like this is more so if we've gone through something, not that there's something going to happen. But if we're maybe healing from like a betrayal, maybe we had like a really, crazy breakup, Emperor Empress breakup, Ten of Swords is saying that even at these low times here, especially being in reverse, that there's healing that can be done. Because the nice thing about this card, that even as intense as this scene looks, the sun is still rising. And that's to remind us, that it's all about cycles. And listen, take it from a Cancerian, your opposite sign. Life is nothing but cycles. Your planet, Saturn, you may not feel it as much because Saturn moves takes 3 years. And that might be something too, if we get in a funk, if you've been feeling like that for a while, that could be part of that too, just considering, the growth might be just really big. But again, take it from a Cancerian. Life is nothing but cycles. This stuff passes, no matter the severity. Listen, I'm not trying to say that lightly. I get that everyone's situations is differently, and the healing is going to look different. That's the thing. And it's not me saying, heal right now, what are you doing? But it's more so just along the lines of just like hey, as we're feeling this stuff, let's just take one step at a time. We got to crawl. All right, let's crawl. I'll crawl with you. That's cool. We only doing a couple steps. All right, let's take a nap. And then, and don't judge yourself with this. You got to heal at your own pace. But my thing is, just because, we're the chariot, at some point, we got to keep it moving, And again, you don't have to rush through this thing, but we just want to work on this stuff and just keep this going. And remember your card, that all of these, and really for you, Capricorn, that all of these lessons and these adversities are meant to put you at an advantage, because they're going to propel you towards growth. They're going to make you come into your Empress, all that abundance, make you come to that Emperor energy, feeling in your confidence and feeling that connection, feeling that intuitive energy. So I'm with it, shooting star. What do you wish? What do you want from life, Capricorn? And then let's make that manifest. All right? Beautiful. I love it. Now let's get on to, where are we at? Pisces energy. Because with Pisces, we have two homies in Pisces. We got Saturn in Pisces and then Neptune's in Pisces. And let's talk about your ruler, Saturn. Saturn's been entered Pisces earlier in March. I want to say it was like the 7th of March, but we'll be there for, like I was saying, for about 3 years. So Saturn will leave Pisces at like towards this is the 24th of May, 2025. But this is a really cool placement for Pisces, because this is like that fairy tale. This is taking all of your fanciful dreams. Like Saturn is asking you, what dreams do we want to make real? you know, because he's like, if any, he's just getting a preview. You know, he's just been living in the dreams. It's just like, my gosh, this all this creation that you have here, Capricorn. This, because Capricorn, really, this is beautiful. Whatever this is, you know, like if we have anything that we've been sitting on or any growth that we've been wanting to do, there's, I mean, potential. I mean, like crazy. And Saturn's asking you to bring that to the surface, to make that come to life, because this is the era for it. This is a time of innovation. This is a time of creativity and really just like working with these energies. So don't sleep on this. And this is a great one too, Cap. Just when we're talking about that lovers in reverse, because I really feel like, you know, if there's a love thing, you know, take it as it resonates. But I really feel like that this lovers Emperor Empress is like a something to do with like there's a disharmony within, you know, like that there's something that's not quite. We want to get that marriage, you know, get that connection stronger. And Saturn in Pisces, just and whenever a planet is in Pisces, is a great time for spirituality, to really get in touch with that. If we've been feeling that we've been needing to do some self-care, maybe get back outside more, anything along those lines. However you get in touch with the source, you know. Work on that, you know, get in Neptune, you know, let's talk about Neptune, because Neptune rules over Pisces, and Neptune stays in a sign for about 14-ish years or so. So she's been there for a minute, and she'll be in Pisces until the end of March 2025. And the thing, let's talk about the lower vibration, the Neptune and Pisces, because she's at home and because that's such a fanciful placement, that you want to talk about a fairy tale, that is a very dreamy type of energy. You know, you just could, there's a potential to just get lost in that, and not, sometimes a dream can seem so vast and so grand that maybe it does feel like how do we wish on that? You know, like what does that even look like? But the nice thing is when we take that moment and kind of sit down with that and get that figured out, you do have a lot to work with, because it is so fanciful, so vivid, so grand. You can produce things that I'm sure which no one can think of, because you're an individual. You know, you have your all special gifts and energies that you're working with. So this is a great time to let those lights shine and really really come together with this, you know, because if there's a dream because Neptune and Pisces, compassion, I mean, just loving energy, that combination is. If we have ideas that we're not sure, this is a great time to maybe partner up. Maybe this thing is, you know, we got to find an emperor or an empress or a queen of pentacles, you know, someone to help maybe makes, you know, whatever this dream is, or dreams, you know, we're not going to limit you to one. You have many dreams. So let's figure out how we can make all that stuff. And then also, you know, forming that bond, you know, whether that be, you know, just maybe getting more in touch with friends, with family. This is a great time for building a soul tribe, you know, your soul family, you know, all of that. I really feel like that's going to be like a really great emphasis going on before, you know, 2025, I feel like is going to be an interesting year. So we just want to be just, you know, harmonizing more and just like really get in a place of just like feeling that those high vibrations. But let's get an oracle on this there, Cap, and get a little more of this beautiful dream that you're painting up here. Oh, interesting. I dig that. You got the fourth card of Aquarius, which is the corset card. And with the corset card, this is a card of held together, boundaries, restrictions, prim and proper, following rules, structured, buttoned up, perfect posture, holding it together, support, shapeshift, and people pleaser. And you know, Capricorn, just with this corset, I would say that I feel like we want to be mindful of areas that feel like that, or situations or people or anything that restrict us, you know, because we're yes, you know, we're trying to, with all this stuff, you know, all this, you know, changes and things, you know, we're trying to find structure, but we don't want to feel like we're being closed off or being hindered or being controlled or anything along those lines. So I'm just thinking with the following the rules, I feel like this is more so a time of just like being more kind of unconventional, you know, like really kind of creating your own type of abundance right now, and really just getting into a creative space, and just like yeah, just be mindful of restrictions. But I'm also kind of getting with this as well, just thinking about the held together and holding it together, just with all of the changes. You know, we want to try to keep a cool head in this, you know, and just with that shape shift, you know, be adaptable and be willing to, you know, be flexible with these energies, because things are going to be, it's going to feel a little weird, you know, following the rules are changing, you know. That's okay. There we go. It's like, because what was that energy about? But that following the rules are changing, so we're going to want to be adaptable during this time, and really, you know, kind of, because the structure, it's being restructured right now. So let's get a little tarot on this, and get some more. What? I love it. You got the Nine of Swords in reverse here, and then we got the Sun in reverse. And I know how that sounds, Sun in reverse, but I feel like in order for us to find that happiness, Capricorn, especially if we've been feeling kind of down, kind of out, we got to get out of our heads first. We got to find what areas are keeping us down. Is this stuff that we're telling ourselves? Is this stuff that other people are telling us? If there's certain situations that just feel like that are keeping us restricted, keeping us held down, what's affecting your happiness right now? Because the thing with the Sun showing up in reverse here, where yeah, sure, it's like we might not be feeling at our happiness right now, but the Sun in reverse is like, this gives us an opportunity to shine some light in some things, you know, to welcome in some sunshine. And you know what? When we've been kind of trapped in the dark for a while, it's always nice to have a little sunshine to be kind of welcomed in. And I'll tell you, when we focus on these things, Capricorn, be mindful of our thoughts, because really now that you got Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords, and I mean both of them are in reverse. We really want to be our thoughts are powerful, and what we tell ourselves, you know, that's going to be, it perpetuates in our world. So we just want to be careful of that and be mindful. If we in order to heal this stuff, you know, think of the Nine of Swords as as a sword fight with yourself, because this is Gemini energy. Every time a negative thought comes by, you know, on guard, you know, you come with your sword with a positive, you know. It's just like where like, oh, this situation, you'll never get out of this situation. It's like, absolutely I will. And, you know, then we're going into a clash, you know. Then look at that. Look at now our emperor and empresses are I don't know, we're not fighting, but we're balancing, you know, is what's happening here. And look how much fun we had there. That was at least a little ray of sunshine there. And that's how it starts, Capricorn. You know, it starts like, you know, like little rays, you know, just like they're trying to poke through there, you know. It's been a minute, you know, especially if we've been kind of stuck for a while. We don't want to just like blind all the sun at once, you know. It's going to be a lot, you know. We want to kind of ease this thing here. But man, once you're basking in that sunlight again, I mean, you're going to feel, oh, look at it, you're so happy you fainted. I mean, I'm kidding, Capricorn. But you're just going to feel just so, everything is going to really come into place there. And it's just going to be, I really just feel like things are really going to kind of come into line here. So just really keep that hope, Capricorn, just if any that's been resonating with you. Alrighty, let's get down to the last card here, which is Pluto in Aquarius. And with Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto heard that Pluto heard that Mercury was going retrograde, so he's going to decide to do the same. He wants to do a little retrograde dance too. Pluto's going to be going retrograde on the 1st of May, and will be retrograde in Aquarius until the 11th of June, in which it's going to do some other stuff, which will retrograde back into your sign after that. But during that time, while he's retrograding, Pluto means business. You know, when Pluto comes through, you know, change is inevitable. You know, and that's not to get you scared, it's to get you pumped, because to know that there's new cycles that are coming through, Cap. And this is an exciting time. But, you know, because Aquarius, when you think about their energy, they deal with like humanitarianism and science. They're a really brilliant sign. And they're the last time, you know, like I was saying, the outer planets deal with global stuff. I mean, a lot of things are going to come to light here. You know, retrograde times is about bringing that stuff. And Pluto being a transformative planet, they rule Scorpio. Pluto's going to bring some stuff up here, and it's going to call us. You know, we're going to need to take some action. You know, we're going to need to really be in our Emperor energy during this time. But the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, you know, it was around the time that the American Constitution was ratified, the French Revolution was going down, Industrial Revolution down, and those were just a few things. You know, Pluto, and those were even before Pluto was discovered, and Pluto was hard at work. And even being demoted to the dwarf planet, Pluto don't care. Change all over the place. So let's work with this change, Cap. Let's start building less stuff. Let's take this loveliness here. Let's bring some sunlight into this stuff here. Let's bring some abundance, Empress, and let's take action, Emperor. I'm with that. Let's get an oracle on this. Oh, look at you. All right. We're really refining right now, Cap, because you got the 9th card of Sagittarius here, which is the ballet shoes. Look at you, so graceful, so poised. And this is a card of stamina, endurance, talent, repetition, effort required, on your toes, honing a skill, laser focus, poise and grace, tread lightly, balancing act, pursuit of arts, and expertise. And come on, Capricorn, ballet shoes, crack shot, what else? Fortress, you know, we're really focusing on refinement. You know, this is really, I feel like almost like a hyper emphasis of like, yo, you're sitting on gold here. And this is not me coming at you, Capricorn. This is like me trying to get you pumped up. You are sitting on gold here. You know, so just limitless potential. Work with that stuff. You know, find some areas that you've been wanting to improve, and then let's get that into repetition. And it's gonna, you know, depending on what we're working on, if there's gonna be things that you're gonna be naturals at, and there are gonna be things that you might fumble at first. But don't let that deter you. Don't let that stop the Queen of Pentacles from pursuing growth, from learning a new ability, from growth, because that's where the abundance is. That's where the sun is. That's where the Empress wants you to be. So let's start working on this stuff again, Emperor, and really, because all these energies, because look at the stuff here. You got all these cards, lovers, your higher self, you, Queen of Pentacles, the devil, Emperor, Empress, Magician, the Sun. All of these cards are looking at you. So I'm looking at you. And we're not here to pressure you. We're just wondering when you're going to let that sun shine. We're just waiting. We're excited. That's all that is, Capricorn. But let's get some... You like that? Let's get some tarot on this. And like I was saying, like that on your toes, you know, be adaptable, be shapeshifter, be yes. Okay. All right, Capricorn, let's see what we got here. I think we're going to switch back over. Wow. Love it. Love it, Capricorn, because this is the solution. So you got the High Priestess here and the Knight of Swords in reverse. But then we got 10 of Pentacles upright, and let's switch back over. Let's talk about this legacy that you're getting ready to bring, this fortress that you're getting ready to build up here, because in order to do that, you got a lot of intuitive energy in reverse here, Cap. And oh, look at that! I can barely hold your High Priestess, but even Capricorn, and granted, you know, the High Priest, this is not necessarily like divine counterparts, but the sun, you got the sun, and then the high priestess is the moon. You know, I feel like there's this energy really of just disharmony, you know, just with all these energies popping up in reverse, and then you having the lovers here. If something doesn't feel right, you know, just like if we don't feel like we're on our path or something along those lines, it's really time to sit down. Really, I'm thinking with this Knight of Swords, if we've just been kind of going for a while or just been feeling kind of like aimless, pause for a second and figure out where are we going right now? You know, what does this look like? Where's your intuition trying to lead you? Because there's something I feel like deeper here that's really happening, Capricorn, and I feel like that when we focus, get eyes on this thing, it's going to really help you in the long run. Because, you know, even thinking about like the sun and the moon, you know, the sun placement is like our ego, how we just express ourselves, our will. The moon is like our emotions, our subconscious. So really take this time and nurture those energies. Just think about all the planetary energies you got here. Nurture those energies, and you know, you'll be manifesting in no time, you know. But it's just putting in that time, you know, making these moments, you know, utilizing. Well, I was talking about the moon, you know, utilizing this. Life is nothing but cycles. So work with these cycles. Use this energy to improve and to grow, Capricorn. So I'm gonna leave that there, because seriously, that's incredible. Like, good. This is gonna be, you know, I feel like the energy is starting to ramp up for the earth signs here. So pay attention to that. This is a great time to figure out what you want to do next. You know, where do you want to grow? Something's cooking, because Virgo was abundant, Taurus was abundant. So, and you're the last earth sign I'm doing. So, but give this a thumbs up. Let's help get the message out. This is again, we're getting a time for earth signs to shine. So, and share this, Capricorn, if you know someone who might be, because this is interesting, you know, like I'm not sure how else to describe that. It's like there's these like real distinct like opposites, you know, just like really that sun and moon, emperor, empress, lovers in reverse, you know. So there's some kind of disconnect, Capricorn. If we notice that someone may be struggling with that, share this with them. Let's help kind of move that journey along. And then, you know, subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. And then as far as like social media, I'm on this app, Insight Timer, that I've been working on. Not my app, but this group that I've been working on. It's this group called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a place where I drop positive affirmations, you know, so if you need a little nugget there, I got like there's a whole treasure trove in there for you, Cap. But as the group grows, you know, I want to do something with like manifesting abundance with the Empress, or, you know, void course with the High Priestess. Her and the Queen of Cups are getting that figured out. But yeah, come on over, and that's all in the description box, Capricorn. And then lastly, I mean, not that you need a ticket, but you got a pretty hot ticket there to come on over to the charity, and friends. But that's just my channel. If you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, wherever, Cap, come on over. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss actually High Priestess shenanigans, Lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you a surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Capricorn. Wow. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that, Capricorn. That just gave me chills. You got the Ace of Cups here. And that's what this energy has been asking you the whole time. What would fill up your cup? You know, what would have, not even just fill up your cup, but would just have your energies just, oh, I'm going to get your oracle card. But what would have your energies just overflowing? What would just send you through the roof and get you to that sun and get you towards that Ten of Pentacles? But you gotta, in order to do that, Capricorn, we have to listen to our senses. You know, there are 5 streams that are pouring out of this cup here. They represent each of our senses here. And while we're in Taurus season, you know, the sign of the senses, you know, let's pay attention to those things. And if we're, you know, we've been feeling stressed or you know, whatever that is, let's get into harmony. So that dove that's dropping in that cup, that's your 6th sense, so that we can make this connection with higher self and find the connection that we need, and like the connection and the direction that we need to get to our happiness. And I love that, because we're just Nothing but cycles, Capricorn. Lunar shenanigans. That's all this life is sometimes. It's just nothing but lunar shenanigans. But with this waxing and waning card, it's not, it's, you know, don't forget that whatever the situation is, if we've been on like the waning end of life, let's say things just been feeling like the energy hasn't been weak, we haven't been feeling ourselves, it's just like, oh, I can't seem to get ahead. Know that you're always going to start waxing again. That's the nice thing. It's just like, oh, there's a win. And then we keep fighting, being in those wins, being in those wins, being in those wins. And then when things do start waning, those are time, the waning phases are times of reflection, Capricorn. So take that time, sit with your high priestess sense, get in touch with your intuition, and ask yourself, you know, as often as when you think about it. What is Ace of Cups? What is Ten of Pentacles? You know, what does my sunlight look like? Because you got just a bunch of beautiful cards here. So I'm with it. Thanks for the energy. So yeah, just really wonderful story here, Capricorn. And you really, it's let's see it, live it. So, all right. I will. It's like I'm just all up in the energy. You stay safe out there. It's like, wow. I was like, I think I'm out of words. You stay safe out there, Cap, and focus on raising your vibration through the roof, because it's going to. I bet when you start shining, everybody else is going to feel that, and it's going to be lovely. And I will catch you on the next one later.